Hi, I'm Dr. Matthew Clay. I just wanted to take a second to welcome you to the semester and share a couple kind of big picture ideas that I really want to emphasize here at the beginning. So, first of all, as far as my mindset as an instructor, so this is my sixth year at Fort Hays, and I'm associate professor in teacher ed and an Explorers Club fellow. And my mindset is really focused on what is the experience of the students that come into your room or will come into your room. And so anytime I look at an assignment or as I'm answering a question or trying to give advice, that's the lens I'm thinking through is the kid that comes into your room, what is their experience going to be like? I care so much more about that than any formatting issue, deadlines, anything like that. The kid that comes into your room, um, what's the experience they're going to have? Not a rubric row. Um, the thing that I really want to emphasize asking here from the beginning is just communication and vulnerability. I did my master's and doctorate while teaching middle school and high school full time and coaching and being a parent. And I don't say that from a place of like, oh, I can do it, so anyone can, or like perpetuating generational trauma here. But to say that I understand, I can empathize. And so when those things happen that you're you're overwhelmed, you're behind, I'm happy to work with you, especially toward that goal again of what's the experience of the kid that comes into your classroom. Um, Communicate, ask, let me know when you're struggling, let me know when something doesn't make sense. I'm happy to work with you, but the more I know, the more opportunities it gives me. Um, The other big picture idea I really want to emphasize from the beginning is toward what ends. In teaching, I feel like we have a lot of discussions about what's the best way, but not as many about toward what ends. So, like, what are we trying to do? And so often we have these discussions or hear these arguments about this approach to teaching is best, but it skips the question of, okay, but what is the goal we are trying to achieve? And I really want to push that in science. I think we sometimes push this narrative of, um, well, some kids will choose careers in science. And so it's almost this like we teach science as sort of a weeding out process to find the worthy few. And that's not to say that kids who will pursue science as a career that that's not valuable, that we don't want to encourage that, and that for those kids we don't absolutely want to be that experience that helps them develop the skills and all those things they need. Absolutely. But that's not the majority of students that went to our classrooms. Um, there's some nice arguments, I forget the author, um, that made the case that public trust in science should be a key goal of science education. And I think that's a very valuable aim, that scientific literacy and just understanding how science works. So when scientific information is given publicly, they can make sense of it and use it. Great. But the reason I want to emphasize, and for the eagle-eyed viewers here who have spotted that, are like, it looks like you're in a garage. Correct. The reason I'm in the garage is the analogy or example I want to use of the reason I want to encourage is actually over my shoulder here. So this car is a kit car my grandfather built. He passed away a few years ago, and I inherited it. And in those few years, especially over the last couple months, I've been trying to make progress toward making it back into a functional car. Currently, that's actually the second least useful car, um, or the second most useful car in this garage. The red and yellow one, which is actually my son's, is currently faster and basically more practical in every other way. But the little puzzles to this. So as I've worked on this car, um, the the little puzzles are very engaging. The little problem solving is rewarding It's exciting. It gets my brain going. I want to emphasize that like I don't need that car, right? I don't need that car to get anywhere. If you're thinking like, oh, that looks like the one you drive every day to drop your kids off to school and get groceries. It's not, right? I have a car that works, and is more or less airtight. This one's not. It doesn't work. It's not comfortable. I have to like lean and like do some sort of weird calisthenics to get in and out of it. But the puzzle is engaging and it adds quality to my life, right? And I think the opportunity to be curious, to explore, to investigate puzzles, to just wrestle with things that make us think is a very fundamental human trait and a beautiful thing, right? The opportunity to just kind of struggle with something and try to figure it out and tinker and play or, you know, learn more, whatever format that is something really beautiful. And I think something that is fundamental to making us humans. And so I think it's important as we focus on teaching science, of course, let's support the kids that are going to take career paths that way. Wonderful. We need those people. Let's support them. Um, we need public trust in science, right? The last several years have made that blatantly obvious. We need public trust in science. Absolutely. Let's do that. But I also think the beauty of curiosity and exploration is its own incredibly valuable goal. Science is a beautiful thing. I always kind of joke that I don't know how other subjects get their kids interested because science has all of the good stuff, but science is a beautiful thing. And especially this semester, if you're um, in a spot that maybe you're needing to rekindle that a little bit, maybe you're struggling to remember a time where you saw or felt that beauty. I really want to encourage you to dive into that and embrace it and just sort of be in the moment. Enjoy it. Again, I'm here to help. Please reach out. Um, as I understand it, they pay me to teach you things and answer your questions. So when you have a question, ask. You're not going to be a bother. They pay me in exchange for helping you. Literally my job. So send the question, even if it's poorly formed, even if it's something that you just overlooked, whatever. Send the question. I'm here to help. I'm very much looking forward to our semester. And again, I'll thank you in advance so much for just your willingness to be open-minded and explore and think and really consider what it means to teach science. And I'm hoping it's a great experience that we can all enjoy together.